Right, Sean. So based on everything that we spoke about today on the call then, right? Basically where you're at right now and where you're actually looking to get to, essentially getting out of your job, getting that time back with your family. I do feel like, based on what you've told me, we will be able to help you today and essentially get you to that goal, right? So do you want me to actually run you through how we can help you get to that goal?
Yeah, please.
Right. So the very first thing that I want to touch on, right, is what I like to call building the foundation. So what building the foundation consists of is actually getting the knowledge that you're going to need, right? It's like learning how to box before jumping into the boxing ring for the first time. And the way that we teach you that knowledge is through structured YouTube videos. So the way it works, it's like think of a Netflix series that your missus is forcing you to watch the minute, Sean, right? But instead of the long 1 hour episodes, it's just quick 5, 10 minute videos, more like TikToks or Instagram reels, right? That you can just scroll through. And basically, you'll watch the video, you'll take notes, and then you'll take a short quiz at the end. Essentially, make sure that you're retaining the knowledge and you're actually learning the information. Based on what you told me earlier, right? You told me that with dropshipping, you felt like it was information overload. There was too much and there was no structure whatsoever. So, how do you feel like having that structure then to actually learn the skill is going to benefit you?
It's like to learn something, obviously, you have to have some sort of structured guide to follow, obviously.
Hmm.
Because obviously you're going to need to go step by step. At the beginning, it'll just start, and then obviously the more information will come the further you get down. So obviously get through the structure of it with the quiz, obviously showing you that you're attaining information. It's going to be a big benefit, I'd imagine, helping you learn
Hmm.
in the process.
Definitely, definitely. And why do you feel like that is going to be a big benefit then?
Because it's probably the way you learn anything, isn't it? If it doesn't matter if
Mm,
you're in school, you come out of school, you go into apprenticeship, you go to college. Obviously, it's like put stuff up on the board, you can take notes, and then you move on for that. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's like any sort of learning, only you're doing it on a computer, like e-learning.
Mm,
It's just the same principle in any job, I'd imagine. You don't just turn
yeah.
up to a job. You wouldn't be able to just turn up to a job and just pick it up off the bat and go for it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like if we relate it back to that Netflix series, right? Like based on everything you just said there, what use would it be starting at episode 80 as opposed to episode one, right? You would want to take it in order and actually just go with the flow, right?
Yeah.
Because, based on what you told me about dropshipping earlier, and where having that lack of structure actually got you with dropshipping, right? Essentially, you didn't actually make much progress. So if that structure wasn't in place here, I mean, what do you feel like would happen then, Sean?
If there wasn't a structure in place, it would be like anything, wouldn't it? I think if you've not got a structure put in place, like you would maybe fall off because you've not got the structure there. So you'd maybe learn a bit and then fall off, and then ultimately you would maybe not learn properly. Do you know what I mean? Without the
Yeah.
structure, or you'd be learning this part, missing that part, learning that part. It's got to all have a sequence for you
Hmm.
to actually learn.
Yeah,
Actually learn it.
for sure. Yeah,
You're
exactly. You
not going
summed it
to,
up perfectly.
as you're saying there about Netflix, you're not going to watch fucking season one, episode one, and then jump to fucking episode six because you don't know what's in fucking two, three, four, five. Well,
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, you broke it down perfectly. So, Sean, like, obviously the structure is there to essentially help you, right? So that you don't get lost and that you can retain the information as easily as possible. But nobody's perfect either. Sometimes, you might see yourself getting stuck. I'm not saying you will for sure, but sometimes something might come up where you do feel stuck or you don't know sort of where to go, right? So that's actually where the one-on-one coaching comes in that we talked about earlier, right? So how we actually provide the coaching for you is through 18 live calls per week with the one-on-one coaches. So on those calls, you'll basically be able to jump on, ask any questions that you have from the modules, and the coach is going to be able to understand you, break down what's going wrong, and then get you on the right path so that you can actually progress. Like, earlier whenever we talked about the dropship, and you told me about the lack of structure, but you also told me about, not actually having a coach. So how do you feel like having that coach, then having that level of feedback is going to be good for you?
Well, again, it's if you're training to do anything, you could potentially think you're doing really well up
Hmm.
until somebody that actually is maybe skilled at whatever it is you're doing, they can go, well, you're not doing that right, or that's wrong, or that's wrong. Do you know what I mean? As you said, you were talking about fucking a boxer doesn't just jump straight in the ring, but you could think you're good. But once
Mm.
a trainer says to you, look, no, you're doing this right, your hands on the up or this or that, then that's obviously giving you feedback. And then you can take away your feedback and actually fucking implement it into what you're actually doing so that you can
Yeah.
actually improve. Otherwise, you could end up, if you've not got somebody to give you direction, you could potentially just keep going round in circles without, you're just rudderless and don't know where you're fucking going. You need
Yeah.
somebody to actually tell you good, bad. Do you know what I mean? It's no,
Mm. It's like in school, right? Like, I mean, Sean, you went to school, right? Like, if you had a question, would you have went to the teacher?
of course,
And why would you have went to the teacher then, as opposed to
because they're the
just
one with,
not going to the
they're the
teacher?
one, they're the one with the knowledge.
Exactly. They've been through it, right? They know how to help you. They've been through the process. So that's exactly why that coaching is there for you. And in terms of obviously there is 18 live sessions per week, but I know you're a busy man and that you do work long hours. So we do actually record all the sessions so that you can watch them back whenever you feel like it in your spare time or even, on an AirPod and work, just whenever suits you. How does that sound?
Ideal. It means you're not going to miss anything, even if you can't attend.
Mm. Awesome. Awesome. Tell me, Sean, like obviously the coaching's there if you do have any questions, right? But let's say, for example, the coach maybe, is busy on another call or can actually reply to your question like as soon as possible, right? So would you have anyone else around you right now in the position that you're in to actually ask any questions in relation to learning sales?
Around me at this moment in time,
Yeah, around you at that
no,
at this moment in time.
no, no, I don't know anybody that does anything like this. This is new.
Mm. So what we actually have for you, Sean, then, right? Because obviously that's a problem. If the coach isn't there to help you and you have nobody else, like that is a problem, right? So what we actually do for you to solve that problem is we offer you a community of 800 people. Right? And think of the community as a Facebook page. So you basically you can jump on, make friends, talk to people, same way as you could on Facebook. And essentially you can connect with these people, ask any questions that you might have, and you can also help them out too once you actually make progress and start developing the skills. Bit of a random question, but let's say for example you were learning how to play football right now, Sean. Would you rather be surrounded by 10 people that know how to play football or 10 people that don't know how to play football?
10 people that know how to play football.
Why, mate?
If you're playing football with 10 people that know how to play football, it's only going to make you better. If you're playing football with 10 people that don't know how to play football, ultimately you're going to be playing in a shite team. So it's no ideal.
Yeah. So do you see the benefit of being surrounded by people who want to sort of do the same things as you then?
That makes sense, doesn't it? Because there'll be people probably kind of relatively new and at the same kind of level as me, and there'll also be people with a bit more experience. So it just
Hmm.
gives you the opportunity to bounce off each other and potentially help each other out. I'd imagine that's what it would do. You can go to each other for maybe a bit of advice or maybe sharing information or whatever.
Mm, yeah, because how do you feel like obviously, I mean, one person that maybe has a bit more information or knowledge than you would be amazing, right? But how do you feel about the fact that there's 800 other people in this community, all there for you if you need any help?
It would be ideal.
Awesome.
It would
And
be,
why do you
it
feel
would,
like it would be ideal then?
well, if you're trying to if you're trying to learn sales or anything for that matter, we'll go back to using what you were talking about, playing football. If you wanted to practice, then if you've got other people to practice with, it's going to make you better. And practice makes
Exactly.
perfect, as they say.
Spot on. Exactly. Exactly. In terms of practice, like obviously, even with all these tools, with the knowledge, with the community, with the guidance, you're still gonna have to put the work in, right? But tell me, Sean, what use would be essentially giving you all these tools so that you can learn the skill? if we don't actually show you how to use the skill to make you money and get you out of your job, what use would they be?
It wouldn't be any use if you're only going to show up and put the time in yourself.
Mm, exactly. Because once you actually have made use of these tools, right, and actually learned the skill, what we do for you, Sean, is we actually help you land your very first fully remote role. So we're a big agency. We work with different companies. We work with different creators as well. And once we feel like you're putting in the work, that you're ready, that you actually have developed a solid foundation and skill set, we can outreach to those companies for you and essentially help you place yourself into one of these roles. We also teach you how to go out and do that on your own. But for the final thing, what we also offer, Sean, is if we do see that you are putting in the work, really standing out within this community, what we can do is actually give you a role with us, fully remote, fully tailored to your needs. How does that sound for you?
That would be good. That would be ideal if you could actually achieve that. I mean, it's obviously I wouldn't know anywhere to look for roles at this minute in time. Again, it's just new to me. So having the opportunity to potentially work in within ABC or even being um, recommended to other people would be ideal. It would be a help. It would be a help.
Yeah, because ultimately, like, what's it going to do for you then if you do, leave your job and do work fully remotely? Do you feel like that trip to Spain is going to get any closer with your family?
Well, definitely. It's if I work remotely, the trip to Spain happens, doesn't it? Because then I can get the visa that we spoke about. So
Mm,
with hard work, it's not just going to land on my feet, is it?
yeah, exactly. And do you remember the happiness that you told me that trip to Spain, living out there in that environment was going to bring you with your family?
Yep. It's all I can think about.
Awesome. Awesome. So, like, tell me, Sean, everything that we're actually able to give you then, all of these tools, right? Do you see them actually getting you to your goal?
If everything's what you've said and what you describe, I don't see any other reason. It's just like again, it's like when I became an electrician. If all the tools and all the stuff I needed to get there was provided for me, it was just down to me to actually go and apply myself and
Mm,
use the tools to actually develop as an electrician. So I don't think it'd be any different here. Do you know what I mean? If
yeah,
everything's put in place, then I don't see why it wouldn't work other than me not showing up for myself.
exactly. But I'm glad you're aware of that then, that it all does come down to you. It's like in the gym, if you had a PT and if you had a diet plan, the tools wouldn't be much use if you didn't actually show up and put the work in every day, right?
100%.
So in terms of the tools then, Sean, what actually stood out to you the most then in terms of what we can actually give you to help you get to your goal?
I think more just the mentor. That's probably the main aspect for me.
Mm,
Learning is something I'm capable of doing, but I think actually having somebody with a technical background and knowledge and doing this is would be pivotal and try to actually fucking learn. So somebody actually keep me right, tell me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. I think that'd be the most invaluable part of it.
mm. And you said it was pivotal, but why do you feel like it's pivotal then? Like, why do you feel like that's like the most important thing for you?
Because it's like when you're saying the community, you might find a lot of these people are kind of similar level. They're maybe just a bit that are still learning as well. On one hand, yeah, as it will be handy, but actually having somebody that's a fucking proven salesperson
Yes.
that knows how to deliver, and then that's evidence to me that what he's telling me is fucking gospel because he's actually fucking walked the walk and actually went and delivered.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? That's for me, that's the main thing.
awesome. And I mean, it's great that you have realized that that coaching is going to be the main thing for you because essentially you're going to be able to utilize it, right? Like you're going to be able to use it as much as you want. You can pester the coaches as much as you like because ultimately that's the tools that are provided there for you specifically, right, Sean? And like in terms of all the tools that we do have for you, do you feel like maybe any tools are missing that you could maybe use, anything else to get you to your goal?
Eh, it's a difficult question because it's something that I've not been involved in, so I don't. It'd be a hard one for me to actually answer. For what you've said and what's there, then that should be enough to get you from A to B. But
Hmm.
obviously, maybe once I'm actually involved, maybe be something maybe pop up then. But as I said, I'm fucking new to this, so it's hard for me to say. I think I would maybe need that, or I'd maybe need this. I mean, at the end of the day, probably the biggest tool, the biggest asset that you've got is yourself, because ultimately you're going to need to hold yourself accountable for
Yeah,
what you. So that's probably. I'm not saying I'm not saying if you just had that, but I would say that's probably 50% of what you need. Hold
mhm,
yourself accountable, show up for yourself, put the work in, and then also everything that's provided. That's the tools, the engine to get you going. But you need to put the other 50% towards it yourself.
for
Otherwise,
sure.
one without the other, it doesn't work, does it?
Exactly. Exactly. In terms of what you were saying there about the accountability side of things, yes, it does come down to you at the end of the day to hold yourself accountable. But what we actually can give you as well, Sean, for anybody that has joined recently into the academy, there's now a new coach, a mindset coach called Tyler. So he actually helps with accountability as well. What you can do is you can book in weekly calls with him and you can jump on and essentially speak with him about anything that's maybe been holding you back or some things that you're struggling with, completely non-sales related, just going on in your own life. How do you feel like having Tyler there could actually help you in terms of accountability?
Um, it's not anything I've ever really thought about. It would be a benefit, I suppose. That'd be a benefit, but again, it just depends on the person, like myself. If you're not a person that's willing to open up to somebody, then you maybe not get any better fit out of it. But it would be a good tool or a good option for you there.
Mm,
Like you said, I mean, if you can speak to maybe unrelated sales stuff, it would be a big help. You know what I mean? You maybe be going through some trouble or whatever, and speaking to somebody can always helps, doesn't it? Well, so they say it helps. So, it would be a
yeah,
help.
brilliant, brilliant. So
Is that what Tyler?
essentially,
Is that what Tyler just? Is this guy Tyler? Is that all he does? He's just like a kind of mindset coach. Is that his role?
well, yes, that's one way to put it. He is a mindset coach. He does help with, any internal things that are going on or external. But he is also, I mean, he's been through the sales process himself. He does know,
Aye,
he also understands sales. So he is there for
yeah,
you in case you are struggling with anything sales related to. You feel like
aye. So it's
that's good?
yeah, so it could be both, right? So he's got the knowledge as well, so that if you could bounce off him
Yeah,
for like stuff as well, that'd be handy.
exactly. So, I mean, Sean, so you do see all the benefits of this, as you just told me, right? You do see these tools along with your hard work getting you to your goal. So I'm going to put the ball in your court now, Sean. Where do you want to go from here?
But again, it's everything. Everything that you've said sounds good. Sounds good. It just all comes down to, I mean, cost and things like that kind of things. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I know there's got to be a self-investment in here. Is it within my budget? Is it not within my budget? Or where we
Mm,
stand? So ideally, I would really need to know what the investment's going to actually cost me at the end of the day.
mm. So would you like me to run you through all that, the whole onboarding process?
Yep, go for it.
Awesome.